Okay, so today we're going to deconstruct a truly ambitious business venture known as the OHL Project. It's a plan that promises to build an entire economic ecosystem right from scratch. And it's built on a foundation that, well, you're going to have to see it to believe it. So let's just dive right in with the headline number that really frames this entire project. The goal? Hit $1 billion in revenue and do it by March of next year. That's a staggering figure that immediately tells you the sheer scale of the ambition we're dealing with here.
All right, so how on earth do they plan to get to that billion-dollar mark? We're going to break this down into 5 key pieces. First, we'll look at the grand pitch. Then we'll dig into the AI Cares for You ecosystem they've built. Third, the financial engine that supposedly powers it all. Fourth, their unique business model. And finally, the ultimate promise that ties this whole thing together.
So first up, what's the big idea here? What is the grand vision they're trying to sell us on? Let's take a look. The core idea isn't just to build a company. No, it's way bigger than that. They want to build an entire economic ecosystem inside Vietnam. They're talking about a closed-loop system that touches every part of a person's life, from their family's health to their business ventures. And the ultimate goal? To attract a ton of foreign investment and completely reshape the national workforce. Now, let's get into the nitty-gritty. How does this whole ecosystem actually function? Well, it's all built around a suite of products with a very specific, and let's be honest, very interesting brand name. So their entire product line is built on these 4 pillars, and they all fall under this umbrella of AI Cares for You. It's pretty clever, right? Each one targets a really fundamental part of your life: your kid's future, your family's well-being, your own personal finances, and of course, your business. So how does this actually work in practice? Let's take AI Cares for Your Family as an example. A customer makes a pretty significant deposit, and then a bank actually freezes that money. In return, they get monthly vouchers that they can only spend within the ecosystem. The promise is that their family's needs are met for less money, and they even generate a passive income. The other products kind of follow that same pattern: a bank-held deposit in exchange for some kind of service or financial return. Now, this, of course, brings up the billion-dollar question, doesn't it? Where is all this money for the returns and the vouchers actually coming from? The project has let's just say, a very direct answer for that. Yeah, the presenter doesn't beat around the bush at all. They literally call it, and I'm quoting here, a money printing machine at home. I mean, that is an incredibly bold thing to say. So let's unpack what this machine really is. Okay, so this machine is their own proprietary AI system, and it's supposedly designed to trade on the foreign exchange market, Forex. We're talking about a global market where hundreds of billions of dollars change hands every single day. And here is the number, the one number that props up that whole money printing machine claim: a target daily profit of 20%. 20% a day. To put that into perspective, that is an almost unheard of rate of return. If, and that's a big if they can pull that off, it really would be like a machine that just generates cash out of thin air. Now, to their credit, the presentation is super aware of the biggest risk in trading: good old human emotion. They even bring up how a previous account got totally wiped out because of greed. So what's their solution? This AI. They argue it operates with pure, cold, emotionless discipline, sticking to the rules and avoiding all those emotional traps that human traders fall into. All right, so we've got the products, and we've got the crazy financial engine. Now let's switch gears and look at how this whole thing is structured as a business. It's not just about what they sell, but how they sell it. So their internal economy runs on this really unique 2-part system, and it's all named after grapes. Yep, grapes. You've got Theme or purple grapes, which are basically like investment shares. They give you a right to cash dividends from those Forex trading profits. Then you have Den, or black grapes. These are the vouchers you use to buy stuff inside their ecosystem. And who's actually out there selling all this stuff? It's this exclusive group of agents they call A0. And to join, get this, you have to pay a fee. And you have to commit to daily Zoom training from 5 to 7 in the morning, every day. Their job is pretty simple: get the products out there and, as they say, spread the word. So what's the end game here? What's the big ultimate promise of this whole OHW project? Let's take a look. And the ambition here is just massive. We're not talking about just another big company. The goal is to build a whole new type of conglomerate made up of lots of small, quick-moving companies. The human capital goals are just as huge: 1,000 employees by next year and a trained workforce of 1 million people by 2030, all backed by international partners. And to back up their claims of having these international connections, the presentation makes a very, very specific link to a prominent global figure. The name of one of their ventures, Akiya, is presented as a direct tribute to Aki Abe, the wife of the late Japanese prime minister. This is framed to show she supports their vision, which you can imagine adds a whole layer of international credibility. So after all that, what's the real takeaway here? It really just boils down to one central, massive question. Is this a blueprint for a truly self-sustaining economic ecosystem that creates real, tangible value for everyone involved? Or is it a super complex financial vision that is completely dependent on the incredibly high-risk, high-reward performance of its so-called money printing machine? And that right there is the fundamental question at the very heart of the OHW project.